Well, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and this is the Wicked Edge sharpening system. And I guess this is the Pro with the service pack too, whatever the hell all that means. And it's about a $750 kit, okay? And on my previous video, what I called this thing was a prosumer product, you know what I mean? Because it can be used by professionals, because it gives you that repeatability, and it's not super expensive. $750 is pretty expensive, but if you're sharpening a lot of knives, if you possess a lot of knives, your friends, you know, have a lot of knives, and you sharpen this, there, or the other, you make friends real quick when you start sharpening knives for people. Because there's not a whole lot of people that can do it themselves, and there's a lot of people that think they can do it and really aren't worth a flying fuck at it. But this is the Wicked Edge Pro. Of course, you know, there's the Apex, you know, whatever the hell that thing is, and a lot of people use that. It only does one side at a time. I prefer to do two. One thing I wish this $750 setup came with was a paper stone instead of a granite base, but the granite base is cool. I'm not going to argue with it. Paper stone is just more sustainable. It uses recycled products, this, there, or the other. Of course, this Wicked Edge comes with the riser here, which the original one just had these triangular pieces. The riser lets it go at a more shallow of an angle, or, you know, at a lower angle. And then it comes with the bar that's marked, has little indentions, has little divots in there for you to easily be able to adjust. It has the ball bearings here, and has micro adjustment here where you can sit there and take and basically adjust in and out a small amount, and get the job done. Now, one thing about the Wicked Edge, I really, when you're breaking it in the first time and you're using it, use it on a crap knife or something that's really screwed up really bad. And if anybody's watched my videos over the last few days, you know I have a knife that was really screwed up bad and I was not happy with it. And that, of course, is the Cold Steel Recon 1 with CTS XHP spear point, okay? Now, if you look at this knife now, compared to the way it looked on the last video, and I have to do it this way just because I'm left-handed, the little rise right there, where it was recurving out, where I actually had to grind that sharpening choil in there, and I learned to do that off the Apostle P channel, which I said in the previous video. And then the tip and everything else, I mean, it's a really good edge. Now, is this a polished edge like, you know, some people get on their knives? No, because this is a working knife, and a working knife, I really only take it to 1000 grit. Now, the Wicked Edge, because this is the Pro and this, there, or the other, and the service pack too, I think the basic one comes with a 100 grit and a 200 grit and a 400, 600, okay? And for a lot of knives, especially S30V, that's adequate. What I tend to do more than anything, and this is just me, is I take it to and use the 800 and 1000 grit. I don't really go any more than that. I've kind of experimented around with these ceramic ones, which are 0.9 and then 1.4 micron. But, you know, it's just experimentation. I'm really happy with the edge that I got off this one. Really happy with the way it cleaned up everything. And the reason that I used the Wicked Edge and finally found a knife that I could break in on it was because I was so dissatisfied with this one. And you know, it couldn't get any worse. Which is the right way to do it. Don't take a good knife that you have a great edge on and just start whipping out on diamond stones the first one. The reason I used it was because I had a 100 grit, and I wanted to take a lot of metal off really quickly. And plus I needed to break in the stone, you know, knock off the loose diamonds, this, there, or the other, and just get everything kind of, you know, to where, you know, it'd work. Like I said, don't take one of your really good knives, and the reason I put this off and put this off and put this off was, well, the first time I started using this thing and started breaking it in. I broke it in on a Mora, okay? And that was just this one, and I just took, and I was just fucking around with it. No rhyme nor reason, this, that, or the other, okay? Just screwing it up. Because it's a more robust. Will I fix all of that? Yeah. But that was just to knock the big diamonds off, this there, loose diamonds and all that shit. The one thing I do like about this system, and I know it is expensive when you compare it to like the Edge Apex Pro and all that crap, is it does use the diamonds, diamond plates instead of replaceable stuff, this, there, the other, perishable stuff, because I really don't have time in my life. And that's what I kind of said in the last video. Everything in life is an opportunity cost, man. And you just have to do things when it's right for you. And I've had this Wicked Edge for a while. And as I said, played with the Mora. The cold steel was screwed up. I had the opportunity to not only break in the diamonds here, but remove a lot of metal really quickly, and then reprofile that to 16 degrees per side. Is that 16 degrees per side the perfect edge geometry for that? Who the hell knows? Do I care? Probably not. But it's better than 20, okay, per side, which would be 40 degrees altogether. Why, my recommendation still to this day, one day later, the more I think about these cold steel knives, the more I think about all this crap, and the more I think about your time, because everything matters. I would still go and for $48 buy the previous version with the clip point, and then the AUS 8A steel that's been quenched, and this, that, or the other, and it really gives a shit. The thing is it's a Japanese steel. They've supposedly put a good heat treat on it. Who the hell knows? I'm going to get one in and I'm going to do some experimentation on it, just because I'm really happy with the design. A few things that when I took this knife apart, because after you remove a bunch of metal like that, you're going to get a bunch of grit in here. It does have the Teflon and the phosphor bronze bushings. Uses the Teflon bushing up against it and the phosphor bronze bushing, so it's two on each. There's one on each side. I mean, is that a big deal to me? No, probably not. At least it's got the phosphor bronze bushings, which I'm cool with. And the Teflon probably will last, so, whatever. Am I going to use this knife every day? No. What is this knife, and why have I spent so much time on using different sharpening systems, breaking this one in, Why is that important? Well, I carry two knives in my kit. One knife is going to be this knife, and this is not my everyday carry shit. This is when I go out of town in my diesel car, go out, and I take that car in places you probably don't want to take a lot of trucks. But I have 800 miles per tank cruising range off 17 and a half gallons of diesel. So I can go out a lot of places, and I feel very comfortable being out away from people, being out away from civilization. So this knife is going into one of my green backpacks for that car. Now, another knife that I carry, and I'm going to swap them out, is the Benchmade Osborne 940. And that's a small EDC carry knife, and it's a very, very, very good knife. And it's great for if you're going into more urban areas. Gives you a nice little slim, but still strong S30V blade knife to carry, so that you don't look like you're some fucking wackadoodle in the city with this big ass fucking knife. Because people in cities, especially big cities, don't take that shit really well. Because the only people that have fucking big knives like this usually are criminals and people that are whacked out of their fucking gourd. But out in the country, out in the mountains, out in this, there, the other, or, that's not the same, it's not the same scenario, it's not the same thought process, it's not the same anything. So, that's why I want to get that cold steel, that Recon 1 working, up and running, because, of course, I travel a lot. It's just because part of my job, it's part of my responsibilities, and I want to take my family out and do things. And this is the new pocket knife that's going into that that kit. So, and that's one thing you need to think about when you're putting your kits together. You need to think about where you're going to be operating, where you're going to be going, what you're going to be traveling through, and you can switch those things out pretty easily. That's like right now, my kit has a solar system in it. I've switched out the batteries from CR123s to AA's just to see if I can deal with that. Put the solar charger in there, which was from the damn Mormons out in Utah, whatever the hell that shit is. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't recall that. Remember, I'm dyslexic, it's just the way it goes. Great system, though. It charges 4 AA batteries. It's the, I don't know, Guide 10 charger with, I think, the 13 solar panel. I mean, I can tell you what all this shit is, but you have to go back through my videos and just see. I've got even a section on solar on my website, or for my YouTube page. But anyway, the Wicked Edge worked out. I had a knife that was screwed up. To break it in, long story short, or to make a long story longer, everything worked out great. I really like the setup. I really like the system. Now I get to start customizing this Wicked Edge system for me, and start getting into using finer grits and strops and all that crap, and clean all that shit off there and whatever else. And it comes with the paste for the strops and all that junk, whatever else, man. It's a good setup. Expensive. But damn, it works. This took me about an hour to do, and it was screwed up, and it was really just me breaking this system in. So, gun knives, watches, to make a long story even longer, have a good one. And I'm happy with the Wicked Edge. I'm happy the way this Cold Steel came out. It's going into my backpack, and there we go. Have a good one.